G'day guys, this is a video about a clutch on a Honda Civic. It's a little bit difficult for me to know which way to take these videos as I cannot explain what to do. Now, in saying that, more than ever in this video, it really is up to the person doing the job to have a level of proficiency if you're going to be doing this to cars, you know what I mean? So, to start off with, you know, for those of you not familiar, I've got a channel about the STI, and you know, I've mentioned Hondas recently. These cars, even this budget-beating, recession-busting 2007 Honda Civic, there's nothing like a Honda, as in everything does what it's supposed to and how it's designed to do and what we want the car to do. Now, this car has got a lot of brilliant engineering sort of aspects to it. As you can see, the rack is hanging here. It's secured by different numbered bolts here, and there. But you can get a compact air gun onto all of them if you do the job in the right fashion, right? Now, ABS sensor warning, very fragile. It's tied up there, protected. You know, the drive shaft carrier, much like the Dualis video I made, you've got the drive shaft carrier here. I've chosen to remove the exhaust here because you have to. Sorry. Now, I was looking at the job, and why I confused that, I was speculating that you could lower one side of the subframe and do the gearbox. I'm not about that. I don't need to do that. This is how we roll here. Now, you've got the lower engine support, which is held on at the back of the subframe to this carrier. So this engine support, though it doesn't do much, it stops it swinging back and forwards. And this is the carrier. And what's amazing is, besides a few bolts on the carrier, they keep the bolts the same size. So they've got a very quick assembly here in Thailand of the vehicle, but yet it still has that Honda sort of brilliance to it. Note that you do not need to touch the starter motor bolts on this model. Okay, it's a sort of newer design where it leaves the gearbox out of it. Maybe Honda's always done that. Watch your axle seals, though. Out of any car I've worked on, this will be the least that you ever damage. Like, it's got the lowest chance because you don't have to battle with the drive shaft to take them out. Every single thing works beautifully. Here you can see the clips for the selector levers up top, and the clips for the selector levers up top. These are the gearbox bolts that go all around the gearbox. This is the check plug, and the reason I do that is, I mean, till today I hear of stories of people forgetting to fill up gear oil. I'm not, you know, and there you go, I'm doubting myself. Now, I've closed that, but now I'm going to, when I stop this video, straight away, and I'm not going to even, because this might be paranoia, I'm going to do it right now. Okay, you know, this is the thing. If you're going to have anything you need to remember, like I'm just doing right now, right? I'm putting that on there, and yeah, sweet. You know, and if leave it there. Do you know what I mean? Now, the reason I put the pink plug there is so I fill up the gearbox. Now, if that's not enough, the other plug's right here, so I'll go, oh, I've got to fill up the gearbox. You know what I mean? Another little habit I've got is forgetting to put battery trays on. Every time we do a job like this, you take the battery tray off and do this to it, and then you forget to put the battery tray on, and you wonder why so many cars don't have battery trays. It's all the mechanics like me not putting them on, so put the tray on top of the battery. What this video is about, and there'll be a second part, is to actually help you understand how not to damage a car, which is take your bloody time. Now, I've made here a little label, oops, there it goes, for a bolt. Okay, because I was concerned about that bolt. Now, I don't need to do these things because I know where that is. It's right there. It's a little earth lead. But that's very typical of something you'd forget to put back on, because in this job you need to tuck things away quite well. Notice that the master cylinder as well has been left alone. Once you start playing with this thing comes loose. You have to redo the whole thing. So beware of this. Take it off from here, and it's very tight. That's another warning. All the bolts are very tight to the exact same torque, unlike all the other shit cars I've been getting in, where every single bolt is at a different torque, even though they do the same thing. So I'm getting in Renaults, that Dualis was just a nightmare. Every single thing was done differently. Okay, now over here, there's not much to do. You've got the bolts on top, you've got a bolt from the back, but what this is about, and coming up here, okay, obviously you have to undo this, and you need to have a 5.5mm something or another to go in here, or a screwdriver. So this can be quite difficult. The reason Honda always run a hose, don't burn yourself, they've done this since day dot, because they're bloody brilliant. They heat with a water hose to the throttle body the PCV flow. Okay, that's a big no-no. See that? That's a big no-no. That's why. So, over here we've got the hydraulic line blocked off from to be protected from damage. We've got here, you do not loosen this carrier, right? You do not need to lose the coolant, okay? We've removed the cables over here and the airbox and stuff like that. Now, they're very, very precision in how they design things. This, there's a wiring loom up here that's clipped on top of the airbox. It's absolutely brilliant. I mean, check this quality out. So I said in a previous video, it's a recession busting, whatever, but it's still a good car. Now, the reason I'm up here is to show you that just moments ago, I loosened these bolts. See, this is how we roll. Okay, I'm not hanging this engine. I mean, the hanger's right there from a previous job. It is not required here because of this type of setup. So I've gone up on the ladder, undone them. Workshop shut down for good, that's it. I'm saying I'm back on November 20, but on November 20 I'm going to say that we're not back at all because it's just a bit much. Now, we've got to move. Now, as you can see, the slave cylinders, the hydraulic slave cylinders there, the subframe has been taken away down there. The plastic here has been peeled away and taken off down there. Now, the subframe is just another joy of Honda. I mean, you loosen the rack. You know, I've chosen to remove this to reduce stress, but it wasn't necessary. But you can see here how